What's up, everybody? This is another episode of I Finally Made It. So sorry for missing a week there, you guys, but we are back. I am Ashley G, and this is Mac Diesel.
Yes, we're back.
We are so glad to be back because we really ready to kind of go off. We've been holding it back for a while, but now we're kind of ready to just kind of go in because let's be honest, we haven't had all positive fun time experiences here. And it has been times where it's really felt like this university has hated us. Like, me personally, I definitely feel that way. Like, man, why are you giving me such a hard time? Do you not like me or something?
Right.
Because that's what it be feeling like sometimes. Because these people, I don't know, man. I don't know. But before we get into that, how's it been going? How was last week for you? For me, I worked a whole lot. Just trying to make some money.
Heard you. Last week was a challenging week. Just a lot of personal things going on. But other than that, I was able to still make the fun out of it that I did have. Hung out with some friends. My best friend, he went to WrestleMania. So
that's so cool. Ocean of Soul performed at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
That was so cool, guys.
That was so cool. I didn't even know it was them at first. I looked, I was like, that's my school. I know them. So,
I got a text from my friend who lives in Colorado, Andrea. Shout out to Andrea. And she texted me and was like, oh my God, TSU's band is on WrestleMania. And I was like, wait, what? I didn't see that anywhere on social media. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, my best friend, he went out there and I was like, well, let me go take a trip down there and hang out with him. Because it's a cool. two night thing now. So
okay.
Went down there Saturday, spent the night, and then Sunday, me, him, and a couple of our friends and his wife, we all went and hung out before they went to go eat, or before they went back to the second part of the show. So, it was a good weekend.
A good week. That sounds awesome, man.
I was able to get away, relax a little bit, have a little fun,
Yeah, after a not so good week, kind of ending it on a good note. That's always good and bring you into this new week.
Yep.
But anyway, as you kind of gathered from my intro, we're gonna each be giving 3 things that we wish we could change about our experience here at Texas Southern University or TSU as a whole. And we're not trying to be harsh, but we're being real.
Yes.
And we hope that whoever watches it, you take it and use it as something real and take our words seriously.
Right.
Because we're students here and we're paying to go here. And we want the best experience possible. And there's just certain things that go on besides the regular that happens at every university. There's things that go on specifically here that can be fixed, that can improve how we learn, and can improve, our futures, how we go forward from here, and not just what we do here, but what we do outside of here. And so some of the things that go on is questionable. So this is our list of things we want to change. Go ahead, kick us off, Mac. What you got for us?
So, the first point I want to point out is the whole communication between students and faculty. I've stated before in a video when we first started that I've had issues with, getting classes and finding out information that I've needed. Turns out I'm still having that issue. It's I don't think it's fair because for someone like me, and I don't know who else is going through this, but for someone like me, I have been going here since 2018, if I'm not mistaken, 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
And, from that point to now, I have been trying to stay on top of things, stay on track, making sure I get the classes that I need, from the mix up between having the wrong major to getting into the right major, all types of stuff,
Yeah, it's kind of been ridiculous for you.
Right. And it's come to my attention that when it comes to asking for help, the answer is not immediate or the answer is not consistent as it should be.
Right.
You know, I recently just been having issues with getting the classes that I need for the summer because, of course, they found 23 credits that I did not take.
Which is absurd.
Exactly. And for that type of thing, it's kind of like you have to catch that. I understand there's a lot of students here. I'm not taking that away from the faculty. But at the same time, if I'm calling you twice a week, every week, something's got to be done.
Also, I want to put something into perspective. Enrollment is down. There's not as many students now as there were, let's say, when you first started. Mm-hmm. And so while, yes, there are a lot of students, there have been more. And so there have been times where these people have been much, much, much busier. But it seems like now when there are fewer students, like there's a whole lot fewer students. Let's just be real here. And so the people here should be able to put in more time into each student.
Right.
Because there's a lot less of us. Like, we know a lot of the people that are in our major.
Yes.
Like, we know them personally. Like, we've had classes with them, and our class sizes aren't that big. So we know that these people aren't necessarily having to take care of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students because it's just not like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're being realistic, it's not. Because there's like everyone is spread out between all these different deans that are supposed to do certain things.
Right.
So the workload that they're claiming to have, I don't necessarily know if that's even necessarily factual.
I can agree with that 100% because, like I said, it sucks when you don't get the help that you're asking for, that you really need, because it may get to a point where you're asking for help. Oh, okay, I'll help you. And then you never get the help. Then you end up being stuck, or you have to, for example, repeat a class or repeat it again, or, you miss a class. And that kind of thing, it's frustrating because if you're asking for help and you're not receiving it, then that's putting you in the mind frame of, oh, well, they don't care about me. They don't want to help me. Why am I here?
Exactly.
And nobody wants to feel that way. I don't want to feel that way. I'm not going to let it make me feel that way. But, it's just, I'm just frustrated at this point because it's like, I think back, oh, yeah, like I'm going to TSU. Like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of help. It's going to be a lot of this and that. And now my perspective is just a little bit different as far as what I was expecting versus what I'm seeing.
Right.
So I just think that the communication with the faculty and students just needs to be a lot stronger. I mean, There are some, like I've had a lot of teachers in the past semesters who have been very, very helpful.
Right. Yeah. There are some professors that are great communicators.
Absolutely. And that has helped me tremendously. Like they've put me in a position to be able to work a lot harder than what I'm used to.
Right.
And I think I'm a lot more self-driven because of that. And that's been wonderful for me. But it's just been a rocky roller coaster. I really wish I could explain more, but it's just, I'm kind of hurt, honestly. Like I thought I was going to be getting a lot more help than what I am receiving. So
it's kind of disappointing when you feel like you've put so much into your university or you've put so much time into it and you really care about it and you just need just a little bit of help. You're not asking for a lot. You're not asking for them to like do it for you. Right. You're not asking, come take these classes, pay for everything. You're not asking them to do all of that.
Right.
You're just asking them for a little bit of guidance. Because at the end of the day, a lot of us don't really know how to get from point A to point C.
Right.
So, what's all the in between? Like what's the B part? How do we get to where we need to go?
Exactly.
And they're not necessarily there to try and help facilitate that at all. For whatever reason, some people are. I always want to reiterate that there are some people here that are, but it's so hard because they get overshadowed by the ones that don't. And it's crazy. It's crazy that the good you want to just absorb all the good. But the reason we even have to have an episode like this is because that bad it's so bad.
It's strong. It's so much more visible than the actual like good that you see here. And that, I think personally, if I was running, let's say for example, a coffee shop or some small business like a business chain, I would want the good to be seen more than the bad. Like, okay, cool, we have a couple flaws we could fix here and there. Cool, we'll work on it.
Of course.
But I don't want that to just demolish all the good that I have in my restaurant chain or my coffee chain. Like,
right.
It's just it's a cause and effect thing for me. Well, from my perspective,
Well, more largely, that means that, hey, university, maybe you need to be taking a look at the fact that your faculty, and we fill out the student surveys at the end. We fill out all these different things. And I know from hearing from people in administration, faculty, they're like, yeah, they don't read those.
See? And that's the problem.
So they don't take it seriously. And I know that. And so like we're saying, the lack of communication is ridiculous.
It's horrible. I don't understand it.
What's your second one? What else you got for us? This is depressing. Depressing.
My bad. So the second one is organization. So not only with the faculty and staff, I think that around the campus, I feel there are certain areas, like, for example, the Chick-fil-A that's in the student center, right? That is the student center.
Yeah, in the student center, yeah.
Right. I like the idea that there is a Chick-fil-A. I also like the idea that there's a Starbucks on the other side of campus.
Yeah, we got a couple things.
Yeah, and we do have a couple things. It's very, very, very nice. I do believe that maybe we can get maybe another restaurant, a crowd favorite.
I do believe. I do declare. I think we can have some more food around here. I mean, I agree with you, man. Look, this is what I'm gonna say. I don't eat on campus often just because it's expensive. My freshman year, I did all the time, and then I realized, man, this is expensive.
Yeah.
And so I just realized, I'm not doing that anymore. But if there were more options rather than just Chick-fil-A, so glad you guys added that Starbucks. Thanks.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have a little more variety.
Yes.
Across the street, they got a few different things. We got I don't want to complain.
Yeah.
I don't want to complain.
No complaints at all. It's just, it would make things a lot, I think, smoother.
Although this entire episode is complaining.
Let's not forget that. It definitely is some complaining here. But, I think with the Chick-fil-A and the Starbucks, it could be maybe a Chipotle or,
that's a good idea.
Something that could, keep people coming around. I mean, people are going to come around anyways because,
people eating the calf anyway.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm not like, again, I'm not complaining at all. But, sometimes when you go on the calf, it's not.
He said, man, feed me. I like to eat. Okay.
I'm trying to eat. I'm hungry most of the time.
And if you bring them, please make sure you're hiring some people that really want to cook for real back there. Cause look, Chick-fil-A, y'all look, I love you, but sometimes that chicken be kind of hard. I'll be like, man, why did I just spend my money on this?
Oh man.
But hey, let's go to mine, right?
Go ahead.
Let's see what I got. What do I want to change about TSU? You know, I have a lot to say. One of the biggest things for me personally that I think could really bring this university, or you know what, I'm not going to say this university because I can only speak for the School of Communications. But I will say, in this digital age where so many people want to get into media, we really should be transforming the School of Communications. Like, there's no reason why we have a curriculum that is just so out of date. Let's keep it real, guys. The curriculum is not good. There's too many prerequisites.
Hey.
We have to do too much book stuff, too much book learning, and they're not putting us in the field fast enough. Put us on the job. A lot of the things that we need to be learning for some of these majors, you know, I'm not going to necessarily speak on like communication major as a whole, but like broadcast journalism, those guys, yeah, they're getting the work in, but that's because they have Professor Walker there that's literally keeping them on it all the time.
Right.
But then other departments are kind of struggling because they don't necessarily have that driving force that's really trying to get people to their destination.
Isn't that funny? You go to School of Communications and there's no communication. It's so ironic.
The irony. But a lot of the classes, the students need to be getting their hands on things a lot sooner. Like an audio board, people should know how to use an audio board their freshman year. Your very first semester, you should know how to control an audio board. In my opinion, you should know how to control a camera. You should know basic editing by your freshman year, by the end of your freshman year. There's no reason you shouldn't, because you guys keep putting these books and these papers in front of us like this is going to transfer over. But I've seen it too many times where we get to junior, senior year where you're taking these classes like, you know, documentary production or what are the classes you need to like really edit, digital video editing, or some of these other places where you need to make videos and different things like that. Your 499 project.
Yeah. That right there. Oh my.
And it's like, if you haven't absorbed anything because all they've been feeding you is these books the whole time.
Yeah.
And then when the time you're supposed to be doing like these documentary classes and these film classes and, you know, the things that you really want to do where you really create content, you're struggling because you don't really know how to do it. The class has to stop because the professor has to teach everybody how to edit before you can actually get into the actual production. And it's like having to teach everyone how to edit in your class that's not designed to teach you how to edit is just a time suck.
Yeah.
So let's say you're taking a class like a digital sound class, and or like sound for documentaries or sound for television, and you need to be able to know how to edit. You need to be able to put together a story already.
Right.
You need to be able to put things on a timeline, open up DaVinci or Final Cut Pro or Adobe or something and be able...
It's a whole umbrella of stuff.
Or something, and be able to do those assignments. But you can't because you never learn how to edit.
Right.
And it's so now you're in this place where you can't move forward in the class and everyone else can't move forward in the class because they have to catch you up.
Right.
Because for whatever reason, you didn't take the classes, or you did, and maybe it was during COVID, and you didn't really absorb anything.
Right.
You didn't really have to practice anything. You didn't have the programs at home. You didn't have access to the Mac. There's a whole bunch of different things. And it can be resolved just by making everything more accessible earlier.
Right.
But anyway, that's curriculum. That's curriculum. Like, guys, stop making us have to read the books. Like, yes, we need to know how to read and write. Like, I know, like, for journalism majors, yes, they need to write their butts off.
Yeah.
Like, and if you're a film major and you want to be a screenwriter, yes, you need to write your butt off. But you need to be writing an application, not just writing to write. Write for something. Create programs for us. Do something. Like, make us have to apply it. Not just, practicing over and over, but like make us do jobs.
Right. And just to make a quick point or to piggyback on what you're saying, a lot of people are just hands-on, have to see it, have to do it, instead of just, oh, well, let me give you this book. You read this, you take this test, and then we move on. It doesn't work like that.
There's not enough classes where the professor is like, here's a bunch of microphones and cords, and here's a board, here's a bunch of cameras. We're going to go and we're going to give you these things to check out. I want you to go shoot stuff, come back, and we're going to edit it. It doesn't have to be on the campus for everything. That's the other thing. It's like, why do we have to stay within the campus to shoot everything? Some of these guys have really creative ideas that they want to do in other places, but I understand beginner stuff, you want to keep it confined. But that's on a more personal note. But my second thing is I want to kind of go back to the communication thing, but to the university as a whole. Like, I don't know what it is with the university and not being able to tell people that there are things coming up.
Yeah.
In a timely manner. And maybe it's because they find things out at the last minute as well, but sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes they'll have information and they just don't distribute it in a timely fashion.
Right.
Like there was an example. And, I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, and I don't want to name any names or anything like that.
No names. No names.
But there's a situation where the school, they're going to cut the budget, but they didn't let anyone know that they were cutting the budget. Mm-hmm. And so students that are on the payroll definitely are going to know that they're cutting the budget.
Right.
And so the semester comes up and the semester is starting and, you're expecting certain things. You're expecting your money to come, a certain way because it has like that before previously. Maybe I'm being too vague, but there's a situation where, student can be on payroll and the university isn't going to let you know that they're going to cut your pay. So if in a situation where they feel like, oh, we don't have enough money, they'll just all of a sudden say, we're not going to give you the same amount that we were going to give you before, but we're not going to let you know. It's just going to show up in your check. So imagine you're expecting to get a certain amount, because the way it works here, you're supposed to put in your hours each month. And then each month, you're expecting a certain amount based off of, because you have a certain base pay and there's a certain amount of hours you can put in. And so you put in your hours and, based on your hours, you expect to get a certain amount of money.
Yep.
There's one time that didn't happen. And then every other time after that, it kept not happening. And so it was like, oh, okay, this is for real. They just decided to just get rid of $2 out of entire base pay.
Urgent.
But they didn't say anything. And so it's just really weird that the school doesn't like give a heads up on things that are kind of important. Some things that actually kind of matter. But other than that, just other things like they don't tell you about or do you need tickets for graduation? Do you not need tickets for graduation? How many people can you bring? They want to let you know last minute. Every event that they have, they want to let you know last minute. And it's just like, I understand things are happening and happening quickly and a lot of things happen, but a heads up would be nice on just everything.
That goes back to the organization thing. that was my biggest thing. Is just like, if, like you were saying, the pay cut, the letting people know ahead of time, like that deals with a lot of organization, communicating, letting people know what's going on, because a lot of people don't know what's going on. And when you don't tell nobody, oh, you're getting pay cut.
And then some people just let them know you're not going to be on payroll at all. And it's like you're expecting to have a job when you come back to school, and then all of a sudden you don't. And it's like, oh, okay, crap, I really have to figure something out.
Right. And then that, there's stuff you got to pay for. Like, for example, books. You got to pay for books. Or if you need groceries for the next couple of weeks, like that's the kind of stuff that us as students, I believe, we need. And I know a lot of people personally that go to school here, they have to find jobs off campus just because, whether it's the pay cut or they can't get a job on campus, it's kind of like, well, where do I go from here? How can I, adjust the situation? But
yeah, so not to rant anymore on that, because I know I kind of went in circles for a while on that one. But my last one, just kind of on a personal note, I wish I would have just trusted myself and just stopped relying on people while I've been here. Because I feel like putting my faith into the wrong people has made things so stagnant for me at times that if I would have just done it myself, it would have just went way further, and I would have gotten it done a lot quicker. And it's like, I regret the fact that I put so much faith into people and so much time into certain things when I could have been doing things outside of, what I'm doing now,
right,
or what I've been doing. I could have done more. And that, I don't know, it may haunt me for a while. It may not. I may be able to move past it. But I just feel like, why did I even trust some of these people? I felt like at the end, I felt like that, especially last semester. I was like, why did I even trust these people? Like, they've gotten me to a certain point, but then after that, it was like, they couldn't give me anything else.
Yep,
and then
you're on your own.
Exactly. And then it's like, oh, okay, so that's it. You can't facilitate at all. Like, right. And it's just like, I'm asking, I'm showing you that I'm ready, that I can do more. And you're just not like trying to really make it happen. So I'm gonna make it happen.
Right.
And if I just would have put my mind in that place a whole lot sooner, I feel so weak for it now. Like, dang, why did I even put that much power into that person's hands in the first place when I had all the power to begin with? Yeah. Like, this has always been my vision. This has always been my life, and this has always been for me. So what am I even doing? And it took me a moment to just really realize I can do this, and I can do it on my own. And I don't need anyone to hold my hand to get me there.
Right.
And so, man, it was really a come to Jesus moment. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, just like, I can relate to that in so many ways, not necessarily school wise, but personal wise. You put your trust in people, not necessarily expecting, but, hoping that you'll get that push, or you'll get that help that you're hoping for. And a lot of times you don't get it. They'll start out helping you, they'll be strong about it, but then they just kind of die out at the end. And it's just like, well, if nobody's going to do it, I'm going to have to do it for me at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So you have to put trust in yourself more than anything.
Exactly. And I also realized that I need to stop trying to make things happen for everyone else, and I need to make things happen for myself.
Right. Take care of you first.
And so that was the biggest thing. But hey, that's gonna do it for us this episode. I know we went a little long.
Yeah.
I was ranting and going in circles, and we was getting on. That's how it is when you're venting about something you're so passionate about, yes. Right? And it's like, just because we want everything to be better, and we love Texas Southern University. We've said it over and over and over, and we love the experience that we've had here. It's just the fact that there are things that we wish could have been different. And communication is one of the biggest things. And communicate with us, please. We need it. We rely on it, right?
Answer phone calls,
It's
emails, all that.
All right, guys, you know where you can find us at. You can find us on Instagram at KTSU_2. And we do drop this show every Thursday on YouTube, and it's on the radio stream that you can find in the bio on our Instagram. Where can they find you at?
You can find me at Instagram at Captain_Mac46 and at Max_View23.
And you can find me at Who's Ashley G. Remember, not the old one.
Someone decided to steal your account.
I know, yeah. They suck. But yeah, you'll see it right there on the screen somewhere. You know, they do that thing on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You see it on the screen.
Somewhere
right?
down there.
Down there.
In the description, somewhere in that area.
Click the link in the bio right now. You know. Click the what else they be telling you to click? The notifications.
The hyperlink, the notifications.
Everything.
Subscribe, all that.
Comment,
click the like button.
Like everything.
You know?
But thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate you listening to us ranting and going on and on. This has been I Finally Made It on KTSU2, The Voice.
Peace, y'all.